Hi, the latest version of Logic comes with a virtual drummer. A team of some of the industry's best session drummers and recording engineers were drafted in to become the virtual session players, and although Virtual Drummer was probably not aimed at the EDM dance music producer, as always happens, it will get used and abused for many different purposes. In this session, I'm going to explore how the virtual drummer can be used to create a drum loop that maintains the natural feel of a real drummer, by taking advantage of the virtual drummer. And so to demonstrate, I'll start a new project, and when we're selecting a track, we need to select a drummer track. And as you will see, it creates a drummer track, and it automatically goes to 8 bars long. If we had arrangement markers set up, it would automatically go to the same length as the arrangement markers, but this is the standard. And so at this point, we can pick the genre, we can select a drummer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a basic loop. So we're looking for a typical dance music loop, so first of all, the kick and snare. You can change this to make it more complex, but we want to keep it simple, so I'm going to keep it at 1 to keep it simple. Take out all the fills, and for the time being, take off the swing. And we don't want it too complex, so I'm going to keep it simple. Now I want to add a hat, so I'll select the hat. That's the hat I'm looking for. And then I'm going to add some percussion. I'll press this one. We can have it on 1, 1, 2, or 3. So I'm going to leave it there, and then add a little bit of swing. So what we want to do next is I want to use this drum loop on the sounds that I would normally use in a dance music track. And so I want to convert this to MIDI first of all. So I want to change this audio file into a MIDI file. So if I right click, go to convert, and convert to MIDI region, you can now see this is a MIDI region. And you can see straight away this is going to be the kick on every beat, every other beat the snare. And so you can identify the drum parts, or you can just click on the note. So what we are now going to do is bring in some sounds that I would normally use and use this MIDI on those sounds. Now you can either create a new track yourself, a software instrument, and then go to Legacy, Logic, Drums and Percussion, and select one of their electronic or ultra beat drum kits. Or you could bring in some of your own. So first of all, I'll show you how to do it on a standard kit like this one. First of all, we want to cut a bar, and I want to drag this down and mute on this channel. All you would do with this then is move these around so that this kick lies on a kick drum. The snare here is on a snare. So you just move these around. But what I want to do, I'm going to delete this, I'll show you what I would do. I already have a load of sounds set up on separate channels, so I'm going to go and get it from another project. So I'm going to go to my browser, all files, and I'm going to go and find another project. There's the project, double click on it, and now I can bring in, I have a bank of kicks on these channels, on there I've got a bank of snares. So I don't want to bring in the content, because we are going to use this MIDI, but I want to bring in the instrument and their inputs and outputs. So I'll bring in one kick, I'll bring in a snare, I'll bring in some open hats, I'll bring in a closed hat, and a shaker. So if I add these now to my project. Okay, now first of all I'm going to copy this down, and this goes to the kick channel. Now if I press play now, it's going to make a right mess. So what I want to do is playing lots of different kicks at the same time. This is my kick, so I'm going to... You can either mute. In actual fact, I prefer to delete, because then I can actually loop this and I can move these up and down until I get a kick I like. So there's a kick. So now I'm going to copy this down again to the snare. And the snare is this one here, so if I delete these, I then have my snare. And so on. So if I copy this down and identify which are the hats, that would be the closed hat. So these are the open hats. And then my closed hats will be these. So I'm going to copy this now down to here. And that was the kicks, the snares and the open hat. That was the closed hat. So this... So there you have it. It's playing a drum loop that was actually played by a real drummer, but using dance music drum sounds. And that's it. The thing to do is just experiment, experiment, experiment. Thank you for watching.